Okay, it's time to film. Let's set up the tripod, put down the tripod, put the camera onto the tripod. Realize that the tripod is in the wrong position. Position your tripod in the right place. Set up your angle, have your subject in the middle of the frame, or on 1/3 of the frame, whatever you prefer. Don't overthink it, just choose one or two or any other composition. Look at the shot, realize it's boring. So how can you make your shot that you put so much effort into less boring? No, literally. A light bulb, that's how you should do it. So you have your lights, you have your light stand, you have your extension cords. You have extension cords, right? Set up your lighting stand, this time in the right position. Put your lights onto the stand, position your lights to be pointed at your subject, and still boring. So what's wrong with this shot and what can we do to make it even better? Turn off all the lights. You now have a blank canvas. Get your pencils. I meant lights, it's a metaphor. Get your lights and turn them on one by one. It doesn't matter what light you have or how many of them you have. These tips count for every lighting setup there is. Position your lights to be as close to your subject as possible. You can even get closer by using a C-stand. When you buy lights, buy the one that can change intensity. Because when you put it too close to your subject and it's still bright, you can lower the intensity. Your subject will thank you. For soft lighting, buy the biggest softbox that you can easily fit in your setup. For me that's this 60cm softbox. But if you have a bigger studio, I would definitely go with a bigger rounded softbox. The bigger the softbox, the softer. But also the more sheets there are in the softbox, the softer. Soft lighting is the lighting you want in most cases. So how do people create the depth that you see in their videos? First of all, they probably got a big gap behind them, between them and the wall, and they got a shallow depth of field. Another thing is maybe they use a concentrated lighting source, and you can do that by using a grid onto your modifier. What's a grid? A grid is this thing right here. With this grid the light is kept in a small space. It is concentrated onto the subject, which means less spill on the background, which makes the background darker. This depth is also created with every tip that I told you. So set up your light the good way. Put it close to your subject, most of the time on the one side of the face. We do this to create a shadow on the face that also creates dimension, which makes your image look less flat. Adjust the intensity till it looks natural. We gotta fix the background. Set up some practicals. Get your nightstand light and put it behind you or any other lights that look nice. You can create even more separation by making the light colors in the background the opposite color than your key light. To create even more separation, you can even add a kicker or rim light. This light is put behind the subject and is pointed at the back of the subject. This way you will have a small glow behind you, which separates you even more. And I don't like my curtains in the background. The color doesn't match. So let's get rid of them. Okay, so for the cinematic spice, your shutter speed should be around double your frame rate. What about ISO? As low as possible? No, definitely not. Go to your PC, search up your base ISO for your camera. In my case it is 400 or 3200, but as 1250 also has less noise, I also see this as a base ISO. Okay, your aperture. As low as possible for the most lighting and for the shallowest depth of field. So you got everything set up. We went from no lighting at all to garbage lighting to masterpiece blockbuster cinematic lighting. And that's all I have for you this video. Thanks for watching.